Hello students. Today we are going to deal a topic from chapter 7, importance of communication and meaning of formal communication. You might have studied in your previous chapter or in your previous class meaning of communication, but still we will revise what exactly communication is. Communication, as we know, it is one of the important elements of directing. It is a process of exchange of ideas, views, facts, feelings, etc. between or among people to create common understanding. So here the aim of the communication is when the sender is sending some message, at the other end the receiver receives it and he must be in a position to understand the message sent by the sender. So it is a process where we not only exchange ideas but we also exchange views, facts and feelings to have some common understanding. It can also be defined as it is a transfer of information from the sender to the receiver with the information being understood by the receiver. So whatever message is created by the sender, it must be understood, it must be drafted in such a way that whatever things need to be told by the sender, the same things must be understood by the receiver. So communication is not only exchange of ideas but it is exchange of views, facts and feelings among or between two persons to have common understanding. Today we will discuss about importance of communication. Without communication, nothing is possible in the organization. Suppose if there is no communication at all, whether it is in written or whether it is in an oral form, no manager can do his activities in the organization smoothly. So to give instructions he should have communication, to motivate employees he possess some communication skill, or if he is a leader in the organization he should possess one of the characteristics of a successful leader is he should have good communication skill. So everything in the organization depends upon the communication. So we'll see the importance of communication. First one is communication acts as basis of coordination. Now coordination is nothing but synchronizing the activities in the organization. So communication, to coordinate each and every activity in the organization, communication is must. It provides coordination among departments, activities and persons in the organization. Such coordination is provided by explaining about organizational goals, the mode of their achievement and interrelationships between different individuals, etc. Suppose if an employee joins the organization, on the first day itself he or she will be inducted by the employer. Now in that induction program itself, rules, goals, vision, mission, procedure of the organization, some past history, some achievements of the organization are being told by the employer to the employees. Now this is what communication is. It not communication is must to have coordination between or amongst the department, different activities of the organization and among the persons or employees who are working in the organization. So the first importance of communication is acts as a basis of coordination. Second one is helps in smooth working of an enterprise. Now to have a proper communication channel, that is if the information, as we know, in the organization information flows both the ways, from top level management to the supervisory level management, and at the same time reports, collection of daily reports, daily targets, whether the targets have been achieved or no, all those things will be passed on to the higher level, to the top level of management from the bottom level. So instructions come from top to bottom, that is top level management to supervisory level of management, and at the same way completion of work reporting goes from bottom level management to top level management. So to work smoothly in the organization, managers must have proper communication in the organization. So communication is basic to an organization's existence right from its birth through its continuing life. Without communication, your organization cannot exist or cannot even think of starting their activities, continuing their activities, or running the organization for a longer period of time. Third one is acts as basis of decision making. Suppose if a manager needs to take some important decision, unless and until he talks to his superiors or talks to his immediate subordinates and discuss the matter, to get some if he has some doubts, if he needs to clarify those doubts, unless and until he follows this particular procedure, he is not in a position to take decision in a proper way. So communication acts as a decision making tool. In the absence of communication, it may not be possible for the managers to take any meaningful decision. Only on the basis of communication of relevant information one can take right decision. So sometimes to take a decision, the managers need to collect some statistics or need to collect some data from different departments. At that time, he has to have either written communication or oral communication. Both are recorded. If it is oral, recorded; if it is written, it is filed. So both the types of communication, formal communication, it is important. Fourth one is increases managerial efficiency. Communication is essential for quick and effective performance of managerial functions. The management conveys the goals and targets, issues instructions, allocates job and responsibilities, and looks after the performance of subordinates. So organization, as we know, the main objective of organization is to maximize the profit. Now this particular goal is distributed in such a way that each person who is working in the organization gets the targets in a different form, or gets the aims in a different form. Now this is possible only with the help of communication. So top management conveys their goals, issues some instructions, allocates jobs to different employees. The variety of jobs are there in the organization to perform, and looks after the performance of subordinates. Communication is involved in all these aspects. Thus communication lubricates the entire organization and keeps the organization at work with efficiency. To have good efficiency, or I could say here, to increase the efficiency of the employees in the organization must have good communication model where information reaches immediately, or information reaches in time. Performance, the employees understand that particular information, acts on them quickly, and do their work efficiently. So communication increases managerial efficiency. Fifth one is promotes cooperation and industrial peace. So whenever there are issues, whenever there are conflicts among the employees within the departments, or might be employees and management, all those issues can be sorted out with the help of good communication, or with the help of proper communication. Now this mutual trust, mutual cooperation between management and workers is possible only with the help of communication. Now employees tell their demands to management, and if there is no say, or if there is no word from the management, then communication is not proper. Communication must be a two-way communication. It must be from the employer side also, and it must be from the employee's side also. So there should be mutual understanding between the management and workers, which is possible only with the help of communication. Sixth one is establishes effective leadership. As I have told, to be a good leader, one of the characteristics possessed by a leader is he must have good communication skill. So you can understand, the manager is also a leader, who is instructing the employees, who is giving them targets, who is motivating them to work. Now this is possible only with the help of communication. So, effective communication helps to influence subordinates. While influencing people, leaders should possess good communication skill. Seventh one is boost morale and provides motivation. An efficient system of communication enables management to motivate, influence, and satisfy the subordinates. Good communication assists the workers in their adjustment with the physical and social aspects of work. It improves good human relation in industry. Communication is the basis of participative and democratic pattern of management. Communication helps to boost morale of employees and managers. Suppose if the manager has created a friendly atmosphere, you will find communication is quite faster, or communication is more fruitful, or communication is more meaningful, right? So how the things, how a manager build up his work, his work area, that also defines, or that also tells one of the important quality of a manager, which helps boost morale and provides motivation to the employees. Now, next topic which we are going to deal today is formal and informal communication. Now, in the organization, communication takes place. Now, based on this, there are two types of communications which takes place in the organization. First one is formal communication, which follows rules, regulations, which has organizational structure, and passing of information is followed the organizational structure. That is what we call it as formal communication. Second one is informal communication. Now informal communication is there are no rules, there are no rules and regulations, there is no organizational structure. All persons are free to talk anything. Best example here for informal communication we can give as rumors. So today we are going to focus only on formal communication. So we'll see the meaning of formal communication. Formal communication flows through official channels designed in the organization chart. Now you have studied in organization the organizational chart, that is you might have functional organization, you might have studied, that is at the top you will find board of directors, then you will have different departmental heads like finance department, human resource department, marketing department, like that. And then again there are subordinates working under each head. That is what we call it as formal organizational structure. Now communication is done through this formal channel, we call it as formal communication. Example of formal communication is notices issued by the manager, that is formal communication. Then again sorry, then again excuse me, reports, any statistic, notices given by the managers to his subordinates, or any progress report demanded by the managers in the form of a written letter or in the form of a notice, all that becomes a part of formal communication. This communication may take place between a superior and subordinate, a subordinate and superior, or among same cadre employees or managers. So this is the flow of formal communication and how it takes place. The communication may be oral or written, but generally recorded and filed in the office. So whether it is a oral communication or whether it is a written communication, it must be recorded and it will be filed in the office. Now there are different types of formal communication. First one is vertical communication and second one is horizontal communication. Now vertical communication can be upward communication or downward communication. First we'll see upward communication. Now it refers to flow of communication from subordinate to superior. Example, application of grant of leave, submission of progress report, request of grants, etc. Means what? If subordinate wants to apply for a leave, suppose if I want to apply for a leave, I am a lecturer working here in the Goktek PU College of Commerce. I need to write an application. To whom I will write the application? I will write it to the principal, because my boss is my superior, is my principal. So from lower level to higher level, that is why we call it as upward communication. So when a subordinate writes something or gives an application for grant of leave, submission of progress report to his boss, or even any request for grants, so the communication which flows from bottom level to top level, or which flows from subordinate to superior, we call it as upward communication. Second one is downward communication. Understand here, vertical communication means both are in the same line, whether it is upward or downward, it comes in one vertical same line. Downward communication indicates communication from a superior to subordinate. Here it is opposite. Suppose if principal madam wants to conduct a meeting, what she will do? She will draft a notice and she will circulate among the staff members. Then it is from principal to lecturers, that is from a boss to subordinates. Such communication we will call it as downward communication. Here examples are sending notice to employees to attend a meeting, ordering subordinates to complete an assigned work, passing on guidelines framed by top management. So any communication which comes from superior to subordinate, we call it as downward communication. Both are on the same line, vertical line. That is why we call them as vertical communication, which takes the form of upward communication or downward communication. Second one is horizontal communication. Now it takes place between one division and another. One division and another in the sense, those who are working at the same line. For example, we have already studied functional organizational structure. Just remember functional organizational structure, and there is a chart, that is board of directors. Below board of directors there are line managers, that is HR manager, sales manager, production manager, finance manager, etc. Now any communication which takes place between or amongst the line managers, that is what we call it as horizontal communication. For example, a production manager may contact marketing manager to discuss about the schedule of product delivery, product design, quality, etc. The communication which takes place on the same line, we call it as horizontal line here, I mean to say, or where the positions of their jobs are same. Now marketing manager also, it's a manager post. HR manager also, it's a manager post. Sales manager also, it's a manager post. Production manager also, it's a manager post. So the official line is same. Such kind of communication we call it as horizontal communication. Another important topic which we are going to study here is networks of formal communication. The formal communication has some networks. The first one is single chain, then comes wheel, then comes circular, then comes free flow, then comes inverted V. So when communication or passing of information takes place in the organization, it takes any kind of a network. First one will see single chain. Now here we can say there is a vertical line. This network exists between a superior and his subordinates. Since many levels exist in an organization structure, communication flows from every superior to his subordinate through single chain. Now, suppose if a manager is working, under that manager there are so many subordinates working under him. So if he passes some information, gives some instructions, then we call it as single chain. Subordinates are getting instructions from single superior in one line, then we call it as single chain. Second one is wheel. In wheel network, all subordinates under one superior communicates through him only, as he acts as a hub of the wheel, the subordinates are not allowed to talk among themselves. Now here you can see there is no connection between the subordinates. Subordinates cannot talk to each other or pass the information through each other. All are directed to communicate only to the superior. This is what we call it as wheel. Third one is circular. In circular network, the communication moves in a circle. Communication moves in a circle. Each person can communicate with his adjoining two persons. Just a minute. Adjoining two persons. In this network, communication flow is slow. Suppose we'll name each circle here A, B. You can take it in any form, A, B, C, D, E. Now A can contact B also, A can contact C also. But this communication, if you are using this circular communication, the flow of information becomes slow. Next one is free flow. In this network, each person can communicate with others freely. The flow of communication is fast in this network. You can see the chart also here. Each person is free to talk to anyone. There is no restriction. You will find two-way communication, you will find horizontal communication, you will find vertical communication also. So the communication is very fast as there are no barriers, as there are no restrictions. Last one is inverted V. You can see the shape of this particular network in the form of V. Down two circles are there. We will name them as subordinate A, B. Immediately after two circles, in between there is one more circle given. We will name it as boss C, and above this there is one more boss, that is D. Now A and B can report it to C. A and B can also directly report it to D. So this is what we call it as inverted V. In this network, a subordinate is allowed to communicate with his immediate superior as well as his superior's superior. However, in later case, only prescribed communication takes place. So these are 5 types of communication networks followed under formal communication, and communication can be vertical or horizontal, and whatever 5 charts we have seen, we call them as networks of communication. So first one is single chain, second one is wheel, third one is circular, fourth one is free flow, and fifth one is inverted V. Thank you.